Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will catch up with some information, some news from the Middle East, from Gaza. Concerning, well, it depends on whose side you are. And I will discuss the special relationship between the United States of America and the state of Israel, the Jewish state, in the context of Gaza in this case. And I have about 20 articles ready for you. I don't want you to connect any dots, okay? I will not, because we are required to take note of what's going on in Gaza, but have only one interpretation, and that is provided to us by the media operatives. If you divert out of it 1 degree left or 2 degrees right, you will be called names. We don't give a shit. Nevertheless, I will give you here some headlines from what's going on over there, what's really going on over there, and you will connect the dots if there are any dots to connect. Remember, the US-Israel special relationship, between whom exactly and what kind of relationship that is. So let's start with, I'm going to discuss Gaza. Is going to be cleared. I will show you 2 of my videos where I claimed once these guys are going to take over, they will never leave. It's not ethnic cleansing over there. It's not, okay? Just so you know that I'm good with YouTube. And okay, let's start. This is the first article. The Telegraph. Date May 7th, 2025. I have to catch up because I can't make everyday videos like this. US could take over post-war Gaza. No, Gaza is not like a no man's land as far as I remember. Just so you know. Next one. US is planning to move Palestinians to Libya. NBC, 17th of May. Washington has reportedly offered to unfreeze billions in funds belonging to the North African state if it accepts residents of Gaza. Why not Madagascar? You know what I mean? So you see, this is not called ethnic cleansing. This is just helping people relocate. All right? Because it's a war over there. And we're going to keep you safe. This is how the narrative goes. All right, next. Israel to take over all of Gaza. Netanyahu. Is this surprising to you? This is from the 19th of May, yesterday. The Prime Minister has defended blocking humanitarian aid to civilian population. Is that a war crime? Is it legal? But at the same time, I will show you one of my videos from Rumble, the Rumble channel that I made in the past, right here. Look at this baboon. So, Israel's ethnic cleansing in Gaza, minister calls for depopulating Gaza, forced Palestinian immigration, US keeps quiet. Now, this video right here is 1 year ago, made 1 year ago right there. And this is my channel over there if you want to go and watch other videos, because here on Rumble, I have a little bit more freedom of speech than on YouTube. So go and read. Watch this video. All right, so, but no. This is not going to take over all Gaza, because that's not what we do. But hey, what's going on? Ooh, look at that lad over there. Now, this is a video I made on YouTube a while ago. And what did I say What they said there? Israel will occupy Gaza indefinitely. After it clears Gaza, US will shut up and follow. When was this made? Krapatsaka makafaka, lopokoko kukutsuku. November 9th, 2023. That was after the terrorist attacks, right, of those guys in Israel and so on. Remember, it was 2 days after November 7th or October, wasn't 1 month, whatever it was. It was right immediately after that. Why? And what they say there? Israel will occupy Gaza indefinitely after it clears Gaza. Israel will take over all Gaza. It takes them only 2 years to say it. How do I know this? It's very simple, very simple. Once you know the people, once you know the dynamics. And how do you learn the dynamics? You learn the dynamics by observation, by observing, reading, and making a pattern, connecting dots. Or your subconscious will make will connect the dots once you provide your subconscious with a conscious information. It will be stored, and your subconscious will do that for you. So you just have to pay attention, read, memorize, and then you see a circumstance and you say, oh, this seems like those, or like those, like that, like that. Oh, how did they act in those situations in the past? Oh, A, B, B, A. So most likely it's gonna be the reaction A. There were some B's, but A about 95%. So then you say, most likely in this circumstance, they will react as they reacted in the past under the similar circumstances, which is scenario A. That's how you find out. Very easy, very easy. Remember, this guy says this on the 9th of May, and I said this in the 9th of whatever there's November 2024. Where is it? I don't have my glasses. Where the fuck? Right here, November 9th. Got it? Next one. Fox News. Israeli Prime Minister says Gaza will be, quote unquote, entirely destroyed. Palestinians forced into other countries. No. That's not what they said. They said that they will move the Palestinians. They're not going to be forced. And remember what I said in this video right here? All right? Minister calls for depopulating Gaza. Forced Palestinian emigration. Okay, and now they say here, this is from May 6th, Israeli minister says Gaza will be entirely destroyed. All right, remember, what was the beginning, what was the main topic of this video? The special relationship of the United States of America with this entity. And I'm going to show you this entity right now. So if you associate with yourself with this kind of entity and you participate, what kind of entity are you? Next, CBS News. Israeli official says Gazans, people of Gaza, not Palestinians, Gazans, will leave, just pick up their shit and leave after area, quote unquote, entirely destroyed. By whom? By whom? So the Gazans will just leave after it's destroyed. So that means what? Remember, this is CBS News, and this is a mild, this is the worse headline than the same one from CBS News. Israel official says Gaza will be entirely destroyed. Palestinians will start to leave in great numbers. So this is the same one. This is May 6th, and this one was also from May 6th. So 2 weeks ago, right here, if you put on it, May 6th, right there for you. But this is the real one, and this is the mild one. The Palestinians will just start to leave, man. We leave, man, living in America. Okay, next, independent. Gaza should be, quote unquote, completely destroyed, end quote, and its people moved, not ethnically cleansed, moved to a third country, says Israeli minister. This is again the same thing from May 6th. Remember? Remember what I said here? All right, I'm glad you do. All right, where are we? Right here, next one. Sputnik, Israel struck target near Palestinian palace in Damascus. Damascus is the capital of an independent, supposedly, sovereign country of Syria. So Israel strikes near, let's say, White House in US. Okay. And can anyone else do that? If you tell me that those guys were bad dudes, wherever China feels that they're bad dudes in America, can they hit wherever they are? Or let's say India hitting those guys that they said they eliminated in Canada and United States of America. Can they do that? Or can Erdogan hit people that hide in the United States of America that he might not like and are designated as terrorists? Can they do that? And if you say no, I will ask why. It's the same scenario. You, according to Netanyahu and this entity, you protect and hide, allow these guys refuge in your country, Damascus, Syria. Therefore, I am entitled to target them, hunt them down. So if I can do that in the name of justice, then anyone else should be allowed. You know what I mean? Well, okay, this is Syria, Damascus. And this is from Reuters. Israel strikes near Syria's presidential palace in, quote-unquote, message to new leader. So, is that a message? Okay, do you know the definition of terrorism? Okay, this is changing a political view, a political move, or someone's opinion by creating terror, by, in producing fear through this kind of violent acts. So if I strike over there to change the president's nowadays shaking hands with Trump, former jihadist, he is now reformed jihadist, okay, with no punishment, but he's reformed. Whatever he did in the past, forget about it, okay? Statute of limitations, supposedly. So I do over there so you can be careful. Be careful what? First, you strike in my country. Well, you do this to me too. Well, really? You want to go to Adams and Eve? We can go. All right, it's a message, and it's acceptable. It's no, right here. This article from Reuters doesn't have a negative connotation towards Israel. No. It's a message. Let's say the Russians would like to send a message to Germany or to London, Great Britain, and will strike next to, I don't know, Buckingham Palace, or I don't know, to the Bundestag. Do you think that Reuters will say the same thing? Russia strikes near Germany's Bundestag in message to the new leaders, Mr. Merz, Chancellor of Germany. Do you think they will report it like that? Germany gives weapons, intelligence, and money and sanctions Russia. It's at war with Russia, so Russia would be entitled to do that? If you tell me that Russia is an aggressor state, who sits on whose lands, I would like to ask. All right, let's move on. Remember, I give you hints. I can't tell you exactly, but, you can get easily understand them. Next one. Israel strikes dozens of targets in Yemen. So far we have Syria, we have Yemen, and we have Lebanon. This is the Times of Israel. IDF, Israel Defense Forces, they say it eliminated Hezbollah commander in Lebanon airstrike. So that means the Indians, the Chinese, whomever, the Turks, I give you the lowest hanging fruit, these countries, can strike inside the United States of America for protecting and hiding these criminals, designated terrorists by the three countries I mentioned. I mean, if you can do it, I can do it, unless that's unfair, is it? All right, remember, now you talk about Yemen, or I talked about Yemen. Well, why is Yemen doing what it does? Is because of Gaza? No. And who did what in Gaza? Oh, they want to eliminate them. Okay, next one. This is from The Independent. Israel claims to have eliminated senior Hezbollah commander in Beirut. Just eliminated it. They tell you that. Do you know if any civilians died? No. And if they died, do you think these guys really give a... If you think they do, then let me remind you the successful operation with pagers and mobile phones. More civilians, I think, died from that operation than the guys they targeted. What did they say? Collateral damage. But if collateral damage happens to these guys, to this entity, do you think it will be again, everybody will say, it's okay, man, that's only fair. We call them, we targeted those bad guys and we hit some collateral damage. You did the same thing to us, we're going to call it the same way. Or do you think they're going to call it, I don't know, the whole world has to weep for the poor entity? Next. Israel says it eliminated, again, Lebanon. So Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and actually whatever they want. And here I'm going to show you some statistics from the United Nations. Some numbers. And this is from 2024. Not even now, but I'm going to show you another one right here from the United Nations from 2025. How many people and how many children perished in this, how do you call it? Where is Netanyahu? Right here. In this thing. Okay? I'm going to show you. And then at the end, I will discuss U.S.-Israel special relations about to end. No, it won't. So, Gaza, number of children according to the United Nations. Gaza, number of children killed higher than from 4 years of world conflict. So this is from 2020, March 2024. So the Russian war was already 2 years in. 2 years. And these guys were at it for what? 1 year. And these guys say number of children killed higher than 4 years of world conflict. So the world conflicts, Gaza, more children died, was killed than the whole world's wars in 4 years. All right, special relationship. All right, what do you think, my friends? So let's go to the last piece of information here. So UNRWA situation report number 165 on the humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. This is from March 28, 2025. And I'm going to go down here. I mean, you can go here and since right here, this is what they found. Now you can say it's not true. You can say whatever you want. I'm just reporting this. I'm not saying this is true. This is United Nations. This is a internationally recognized body. All right. Over 142,000 people estimated to have been forcibly displaced. Right? Forcibly displaced, they say, between 18 and 23 of March. that's what, five days? All right. According to these guys, 284 United Nations team members killed. All right. 312 United Nations installation damaged. Now, what do we have? The entire population of Gaza Strip has received UN food assistance since the ceasefire began, food supplies. Okay. Only 10 out of 27 UNRW health centers operational on 25 of May. Okay, 55,546 medical consultations were provided. All right, and since the onset of the conflict, around 730,000 people, that's almost a million, displaced, including 520,000 children, have benefited from Paka. All right, and that's not it. I'm going to go to the bottom right here, not to the S, right here. This is what I need you to read and to learn. According to the United Nations, not with David Duke or anything, at least 1.9 million people, or about 90% of the population across the Gaza Strip, were displaced during the war. Many have been displaced repeatedly, some 10 times or more since the recent evacuation orders were issued. Between 7 of October 2023 and 25 of March 2025, according to the Ministry of Health in Gaza, I know they say these guys are lying, as stated by OCHA, at least 50,144 Palestinians have reportedly been killed in Gaza and 113,704 have been injured. Now, you can look here and see how many were right here. Reports all these guys, break down to these guys, they were killed. And you got here, how many children? They claim 15,613 children, women, elderly, and men. The number of United Nations members, 284, and so on. And we're going to talk about this. Are Israel special? Why is it special? Because someone owns someone else. About to end? No. The relation will not change. When the relationship will be attempted to change, then Oswald will be back. All right? You know what I mean? Oswald, 1963, Texas, Dallas. My friends, it's not going to change. No, you want to associate yourself with these guys, and everybody's quiet. The Germans are quiet. The French are quiet. Everybody's quiet. It's right there for you. And they tell me about Russia. Now, okay, tell me about Russia. But in the same breath, I want you to tell me about that too. And I want you to use the same measure, the same measuring stick. And I want to use the same terms for the same that apply to the same actions. I don't want these guys to tell displacing them and the other guys commit that. Remember they talk about the Russians displacing and abducting Ukrainian children? Even the Pope was concerned about that. Remember, they were crying about it. Did you read the last United Nations? I will place all these things at the bottom in the description box below. You can find them. It's right there. Now, you're allowed to read all this. They still allow us to read. You know what you're not allowed? To connect the dots or connect the right dots. You're allowed to read them and don't connect the dots. Connect the dots they give you for you to connect. The problem is we know what's going on and we look at our leaders not even caring. On the contrary, supporting it. So the relationship will not change. Why? This country is owned. This country is owned. Thank you very much. I'm talking about the United States of America. And not only. You don't have to own everybody. You just own a few guys who own the rest. So let's say you own US has power to own others. You own Germany, France, and Great Britain, you own Europe. You don't have to own Albania. You own Great Britain. Great Britain will tell Albania, back the fuck off. That's what you have. This is the way you have to think. This is what you're supposed to say. It's not going to be the guys telling you no. And the mass media will support you. Why? Because mass media is free to do that. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.